Hi, I'm Ziyang. Now let me explain about method 2, the blood type diet. Dr. Pierre D. Edmond first mentioned the blood type diet method of weight loss in 1996. He pointed out that body in individual with other blood type could have a different reaction to the same food. By choosing the food according to the blood type diet suggestion, the dieter would be more healthier and achieve their ideal weight easier. Now talk about the recommendation type of food and the physical activity level based on different blood types. For the personnel who have blood type A, they are suggested to take vegetable, fruit, grain, beans, legume, nut, and seeds. Foods such as dairy, meat, fish, poultry, egg, nuts are not suitable for them. Besides, they should do climbing exercise. For type B person, they may take vegetable, fruit, grain, bean, legume, meat, poultry, fish, egg, and dairy. Food are not suggested are nuts and seeds. People who have this blood type are recommended to take medium physical activity exercise. Type AB person could intake food both type A and type B, but it also suggests the vegan diet could better. For the physical activity level, both low and medium level are appropriate. For type O, should be meat, poultry, fish, and olive oil. Besides, central vegetable, egg, and nuts may be contained, but with limitation. Dairy, grains, and beans are not recommended. People who have type O should have a high-level physical activity. Out of balance suggests there are no extra calorie intake limitation for any blood type. All blood types are suggested to intake 1016 to 2000 calories per day. As mentioned by Winchester Hospital in 2019, no matter which blood type that individual have, according to blood type diet, they are suggested that avoid all the processed food, chocolate, coffee, and alcohol. Here's some scientific explanation for this weight loss method. Macronutrients could be specifically considered as carbohydrate, lipid, and protein. Those macronutrients exist in every type of food. However, they cannot be directly absorbed and used by our body. Each macronutrient needs to be broken down into small molecules within the digestive system. Carbohydrate digestion begins in the mouth by amylase, undergoing further digestion in the duodenum and small intestine. It is absorbed by the small intestine as normal scrub. Protein digestion begins in the stomach by pepsin, then in duodenum by trypsin, undergoing further digestion in small intestine. It is absorbed by small intestine as amino acid. Lipid digestion occurs in duodenum, react with bile salt, and then digested by lipids. It is absorbed as glycerol fatty acids and glyceride by small intestine. However, those nutrients cannot constantly flow in the blood. They need to be stored or used to reach dynamic equilibrium as part of homeostasis. As a result, after absorbed by small intestine, all the nutrients are carried by blood flow to every part of our body and used by our cell. Simultaneously, when our body notices the blood glucose level is really high, insulin will be secreted by pancreas to encourage our body cell to absorb more glucose. However, there might be glucose that is still remain. Therefore, the liver and muscle will grab glucose from blood and store it as liver or muscle glycogen. Besides, fat cell will use fat acid and glycerol to remake a fat and store it. Protein is one of most welcome ones. They are used to build up and fix our body and make the new cells. Our blood needs energy. Cell will go through metabolism with the cell matrix and mitochondria and the normal circular stances. When the blood glucose is not sufficient, glycogen in the liver will be broken down to provide glucose. Nevertheless, when our body goes through the tough period, which is insensitive physical activity or lack of food, this process might be different. When our body needs to produce energy rapidly, there may be no time for aerobic metabolism or sufficient glucose to reach. So our cell might need anaerobic metabolism and sometimes need to break down protein to meet the energy demand. The blood type diet suggestion might lead to concentrate of food choosing range, which makes dieters cannot reach their need for every kind of nutrients. For example, type O people are suggested to take more protein and limit grain, bean, and rice, which could be a high-quality resource of carbohydrates. Thus, if they follow the blood type method strictly, they may get ketosis as a side effect. The reason is intake of carbohydrate cannot satisfy our body needs, so our body may force to use large amount of protein and fat to produce energy. Moreover, if people aim to lose weight, they may choose to reduce total caloric intake to make caloric deficit. Although the essential principle of weight loss to ensure individual caloric consumption is larger than caloric intake, there may be some disadvantage in the long term. A research led by Yin and Guo shows that intake of fewer calories than our body need may slow down the metabolism rate. This side effect may continuously decrease the number of caloric burn in our body by maximum of 23%. Besides, our body may not get enough macronutrients due to shrink of food choosing range according to diet eating plan. This might lead extreme fatigue. On the other hand, the blood type diet suggests that processed food should be removed from food list, which could be beneficial. Processed food might contain a large number of sugar, sodium, and fat. What's more, food that match the blood type diet suggests could contain high quality fat, large number of fibers, and low sodium intake. This could eliminate the risk of hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and hyperglycemia, and may potentially reduce the risk of having cardiac disease. In conclusion, firstly, the blood diet reduces the food choice, which may lead to the lack of some nutrients. It could be harmful. Secondly, the blood type diet does not give any unambiguous suggestion about physical activity level. Thirdly, cut down the caloric intake to lose weight may bring some negative influence on metabolism level and mental state. Besides, a study in 2013 shows that there are no explicit evidence shows that blood type diet is beneficial after analyzing the world medical literature. Therefore, we can say that blood type diet is not sustainable. In addition, this method restricts only the intake food type, not the calorie amount intake. Then, if we follow the method and still eat a lot, we will still gain weight. The actual cost of weight loss is in taking less energy than we consume and get the energy gap. As the result, this weight loss method has more disadvantages than merit. It is bogus.